Hey, good morning. Welcome back to another training. In this video, I am going to show you how to showcase pre-styled sites to a potential client, even if you've never designed a site before, and how you can position pre-styled sites so that you can feel confident in talking to potential clients, even if you're brand new or a beginner. I actually just spent the last little bit here trying to figure out the best way to do that so you guys would be able to spend the least amount of time worrying about this and the most amount of time focusing on getting that initial cash in your pocket. So what I did was I went through and I screenshotted a lot of the different templates and designed by Wix. Now, as you know, the templates available in Wix are actually the sites that we will be customizing as a pre-styled site for your potential client. Okay, so these are sites that are already ready and available in Wix right now. Now, I want you to feel confident in sharing these because prior to a couple of years ago, these like templates like this, like what Wix has on this platform, were not available. You had a platform where website design was mostly a lot of complicated coding, and potential clients had to pay thousands and thousands of dollars just to even get any options like this. There were no such thing as templates and stuff like that. So what you're going to be doing is adding these to a gallery, and I'm going to show you how I've chosen to do my gallery, how it looks right now. And remember, I don't want you to spend, if you're a beginner, I don't want you to spend a whole lot of time perfecting this right off the bat. Remember, the goal is putting cash in your pocket and making your business profitable first before you go back in and perfect the business. We're focusing on the foundation and the framework before we go back and get fancy. Yes, we're on the same page? Okay. So that's why it's important that you don't have to feel like, oh, what do I do? I want you to feel confident, even as a brand new designer, that you're able to offer sites and services that will help your potential clients build their businesses and their brands online. And with the Wix platform, they are getting a heck of a steal with this. So what I want you to do is go over to Wix and open up the site that was included with the course. So this is your free site. In order for this to work, you're going to have it connected to the domain and all that. So make sure that you've completed module 1 before trying to go on to this next course. Okay. What you can do is go to the page that says gallery, and everything that you see here in this Google Drive folder, this is from my personal archive. This is now available to you in the Google Drive folder in the link that is included with your student course and support. So that's pretty cool. So all of these photos and stuff are listed inside of there, and you can use them however you want. So all I did was I went into Wix, I went into the templates, and I just screenshotted a bunch of different templates, okay? So now, even though, let's say I'm just starting out, even though I'm just starting out or you're just starting out, you have potential templates to be able to show your clients, which is why as a brand new designer, I recommend you start with the pre-styled sites and earn as you learn or learn as you earn. And when you're doing these first sites for clients, not only through the Style It Yourself course and through this course, you'll have not only an understanding of how to do the website business, but you'll also gain an understanding of how the Wix website platform works, how to design sites that have both style and strategy and are focused on generating leads and revenue for your clients. But you'll also then be able to move into the custom website arena. Now, as a brand new designer, and especially if you don't have any experience with the Wix platform, obviously I would not recommend that you jump right into, trying to design custom websites, because that's probably not going to work so well. And you've got to get a little experience under your belt, which is why it's perfect to start with the pre-styled sites. This is something that you'll be able to do, you'll be able to offer, and it's a really good foundational platform for building your skills. And when you build your skills and ability, you'll be able to do more custom sites, and you'll be able to do more of those high ticket projects. So sound good? Okay, so remember, this and all of these images are included inside of the Google Drive folder that comes with your course that you can access. Or download. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do that. But anyways, I think I'm just going to do that, or a Dropbox folder for you. Okay. And then we will make it only accessible by certain people with the email address. So when you're added into the course, we'll add your email address so you can access this. And obviously, please don't share it with anybody else, because that's against the rules. I don't want to kick you out of the course. I would be sad. So play nice, follow directions, be ethical, use integrity, all that jazz. Okay, so now what I want you to do is open up the gallery. And what you can do is, now this is the page. Now, the reason I don't recommend having the gallery necessarily be visible on your site is because if the goal of your website is to truly get someone to enter their information, to go through the client process, here's the thing. I found that when I put all of my information out there and available to people, I wasn't getting as many people requesting more information, because it's like they could see everything they needed to know. It's kind of like if you've ever been on a dating app, you've got to leave a little bit of mystery in there. You've got to make the person want to reach out to you, right? So that's why I don't have like all of my gallery and all of my websites, because if someone wants to see my work, they've got to put a little skin in the game and ask to see my gallery. And then once we're communicating, I will share the sites that I've designed, previous stuff, all that jazz. So inside of your gallery page, now you will open up the site editor for Wix. Remember, there's 3 different views in Wix: the site overview, site editor, and site dashboard. This is the site editor. In order to create a new page, what you can do is you can go to add a page from the menu, and you will label this one. It'll be called gallery. Now, I went over here, clicked on the little 3 dots, and I clicked on hide. And the reason, like I said, that I click on hide is because I will only send my gallery to someone who is a seriously interested design client, because I want the main goal and the main focus of my website to be able to get someone to contact me, to reach out. And because I know once I can start talking to them and I can build that connection, then I'm much more likely to close the sale or convert them into a paying client. Now, if there was no mystery and I hadn't built that connection and I just put all my information out there for them to see and they never had to contact me to make the connection, obviously I'm not going to be as likely to close a client. So my goal, that's always my goal: closing clients, getting paid, helping people build their businesses online. So that is why I've chosen to hide this page from my menu. Okay. Now, what you'll do next is you can go over here. I'll show you an example of how this is viewed on my site. So if someone's like, hey, can I see some of what do you have? Just so I have something on the site, these are the pre-styled sites. Now, yes, these are templates available via Wix, but this is just currently what I'm showing here. I put a little information up so they can click on it, so they can see each one. So there's what I did there. Okay, so what you can do is you can go like this. Now, when you click on the plus sign on the editor, this will open up the tab for all of your page elements. Okay, so the plus sign is all of your page elements like text, images, sliders, strips, lists and grids, light boxes, all of that fun stuff, which is all stuff that we're going to talk about when you go through the Wix editor overview and click on the elements. We'll go over that. I prefer to learn as you go. So I'm going to teach, you're going to learn this as we're doing the different things. So now if you want to add a gallery in here, which is what I recommend, you can pick whichever gallery speaks to you. Now, one of the things on the gallery is the grid rollover, and this is kind of a really cool grid to add inside of a gallery. And here's why. So what you can do is I would stretch the grid to make it look to be about the size of what a laptop or a desktop screen would look like. Okay, so I've done that. See, so if you grab those little dots on the side, you can stretch and adjust it. Keep in mind that if you have the grid lines here, the grid lines are going to tell you where the edges of small screens lie, and you want to keep the majority of your designs inside of the grid lines unless it's a stretch design. That way it will appear inside on even the smallest of screens. So that's how you stay within mobile optimization and make sure that it appears the right way on everyone's screen despite their size. Okay, now what you can do, edits made more than one window. I don't think so. Update editor, that's weird. What if I go like this? What if I just delete that? Very odd. I don't think I have another editor open. All right, let's see. Okay, so what you're going to do next is we're going to wait for it to load. Oh no, it didn't. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to go back to the gallery page. Interesting. It added an entirely new gallery here. Okay, let's roll with this. So the gallery here that it added was, as you can see, this is a slider. Okay, so this is a slider gallery. Sometimes it's really fun to add a combination of two galleries on the same page just because it makes it a little bit more visually appealing. So what I'm going to do on this page then, and this is the gallery, is I can click on these arrows right here that have arrows pointing in both directions. If I click on this, it will stretch the gallery to the full width of the screen. And I'm going to do that. Okay, and if I wanted to adjust the margins, which those are the white strips that lie in between, I could increase the margins, decrease the margins. I'm going to go ahead and leave it right here. Okay, now if I click on Manage Media, I will be able to add in all of the photos that are the pre-styled sites. Okay, so what I'm going to do is click on Select All. All right. And then I'm going to do a mass delete of all of those. That way I don't have to click each one individually and delete it. Now what I'm going to do is add media. I'm going to add these images. And I also want to make sure that, oh, perfect. So here's a pre-styled site. Okay, so this is no, I don't want to add that here actually, just kidding. I'm going to go in and add some media. I'm going to go to upload media and I'm going to upload it from Google Drive. Okay, well, I don't want to do this now, but you'll connect it to Google Drive. My Google Drive is connected to my computer, so that's why it just makes it a little bit easier. And I want to look for the Wix landing pages folder. That's what it's called in mine. It'll be called the BWD Student Course Support in yours. Okay, So now what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to add in all of these screenshots that I went in and took. And we're going to add this one in as well. And oh no. Okay, let's try that again. Did it upload? Did it select them? Yes. Okay, now I'm going to click open. Now it's going to add in all of these different images, and I will be able to put those in what looks like a gallery. Now, another thing that you could do, okay, now it's going. All right, so now inside of the Wix landing pages, I also created a spreadsheet. Now in this spreadsheet, this is where I have linked the page to all of these different types of sites. So what I did was I went into Wix, I saved some of my favorite templates as a thing on my own site, and then I actually created a link to each of them. So now if I have a potential client who wants to view that specific template, what I will do is I will give them this link. Now, you'll have to do this separately for your own site because you'll have to do this separately for your own sites because you'll need to save it to your own thing so that your clients could give you the feedback on it. Okay, so I will show you how to go in and save your favorite templates to be able to showcase as pre-styled sites. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so that'll be a separate tutorial. It's pretty simple, but just to show you what that would look like, this is how that would look here. So each one of these links to a different pre-styled Wix website. So when I'm communicating with potential clients, these are the pages that I would send them to. Now, some designers and some people will actually purchase like a separate domain for each of these. So for example, they'd say like consultant sample site 1. Or you can also go in and create subdomains so that if you have, websites by Nicole.com, you could have consultant 1 and you can create a bunch of different subdomains for all of those. I will show you how to do that as well. Again, that's only if you've already got profits in your pocket and you have some extra time. Okay, you don't need to do that in order to be successful. I worked with, in fact, in the tourism industry, when I was getting quotes from designers, they were sending, now these were extremely successful website design agencies using platforms like Squarespace and Wix, and they were just straight up sending me the links directly to these pre-styled sites. And that is where I got the idea to do this. I was like, oh my gosh, these designers who are charging, $7, $8, $9, and $10,000 to have these sites designed, they're just sending me the link to a website template. I'm like, that's how this whole entire thing started inside of me. If you didn't see that story, it was just like, what? There's other people out there doing it right now. So that is what gave me the confidence to not just do this for fun, but to actually go out there and do it as a opportunity. Okay. All right. So no, I prefer not to answer. Just leave me alone right now. Okay. So all 36 uploads were completed successfully. That is fabulous. So now what I can do is I can go in and I can add some of these to the gallery if I want to. You can add all of them. You can add your favorites. It doesn't really matter. When you click add to page, these will then show up. Okay, so we'll do done. Okay. So now, even if you didn't have any previous work done, you can still showcase, you can still feel confident, even if you've never designed a site, in showcasing the pre-styled sites that Wix has available. And you'll be able to show examples of what you are capable of customizing for a client, which is really, really cool. Now, another gallery that I recommend adding to your page. Now, remember, you can go over to add and scroll down a little bit. This is a really neat gallery. It's called the grid rollover. So what happens, and I'll show you how this looks on my site. When someone comes to a website, like my site here, and they click on this and they roll over, it will show them examples of what type of one it is. So, and then I just put the category on the top. So like vacation rental, travel blog, lifestyle blog. So that's how that looks. It's really, really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and add a grid rollover here to the site. And remember, all you have to do is click and drag. Another thing that I recommend doing is grabbing the size adjuster on either the right or the left side and stretching the grid so that the images look to be about the size of a computer screen. That way, when you add these images in there, it will stretch to fit in the right proportions so that it looks like the example of a website. So now what I'm going to do is click on the Change Images option. And I'm going to go in here. I notice that there's no select all. So I'm just going to delete all of the images currently on the grid. And I'm going to go in and add all of the pre-styled sites that I just added. You'll want to make sure that it's an even number. Okay. Want to make sure that it's an even number that can be divided by whatever it is, like 4 or something like that, because, okay, add to gallery. All right, and now I'm going to click done and I'll show you how this is going to appear. Now, what you have to do on this gallery is change the images, and you would title it as real estate. This one is sprinkles and sparkles. I think this one I titled luxury real estate agent. This is door 121. Macaron and me. So as you can see, what I have to do is I have to go in Macaron and one. Oh my gosh, I'm losing it here. Macaron and me. This one is, oh shoot, it was the Makasu sushi. I'll just keep it as that. This is Makasu 2. This one is Yoga Studio. This one is Personal Trainer. Bodyworks. The doula. This one is the fitness trainer. Oh no, fitness coach. That was this one. This was fitness coach. Okay, this one is a vlogger. We'll say visual storyteller. Madre. This is yoga. Oh my gosh. So as you can see, it takes a little bit of time. Adventurer. This is a wellness retreat. This one is the Wanderlust. This is the food blogger. Food blogger 2. Boutique. This is lifestyle blogger. This one, I'm going to delete this one because we already have this as an example. Let's see here. This is the style blogger, vibrant blogger. And this one is the health coach. I think it's health coach. Organic skincare. Oh no, organic beauty. This one is Luxe Beauty. This one is wedding photographer. This one is Sacramento style. Okay, so as you can see, I've done this quite often, so I know what all of these are called. Wedding photographer too. So we'll say this is the VRBO wedding website. Beach rental. This is the webinar. Laguna Resort. Okay, so when those are all done, what you can see is, now remember when I click it, these changes won't be published live until I hit publish. So if I want the changes to go live, I can hit publish. Now when I click on preview, you can see that these are examples of, it looks like I have, right? It looks like I have some work under my belt. Now, the really nice thing to feel confident about is that it is easy for you to go in and customize these for your clients. It's a drag and drop editor so that you'll be able to help them do this. Not only that, but you're going to learn every step of the way how not only to design the site, customize the site, but how to dig into their brand and their messaging so that you know how to help them focus on a site and a design that's going to attract their ideal audience and convert browsers into buyers, which is ultimately going to lead to residual revenue, recurring revenue, increased leads. So, right, generating leads and revenue, which translates to continual cash flow and consistent clientele. So that's pretty cool. So now when I go to the site here, and even if this is how you establish instantaneous professionalism, okay? Because these are all sites that you have available on the Wix platform. And this is how you're able to showcase your capabilities, even if you have no experience, you've never designed a site, and you're just getting started. So that is how you can do that. Now, when they click or roll over each of these, they're able to see a sample of a site. Now, in the editor here, what I always include is a request for a showing. Okay, so a request for a showing. That is what that's called. And again, remember, my focus here is to generate leads and recurring revenue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little, now where is that gallery? Okay, so I'm gonna pull this down a little bit because I want the title text to be up here on the top so that it's very clear what my goal is. Now, I want to make sure that the alignment is centered so that when people are viewing this on a mobile device, which remember, 70% of people will view a website on mobile, which is why it's important to center the text when you can, like what you see. Now I'm going to add another text underneath. We'll go with heading 2. Nope, that's actually too big. So I'm going to go ahead and change the font size of this to 22. The reason is because the smaller the second heading font is, the more the top one heads out. So I'm going to go ahead and stretch this a little bit, and I'm going to add some more text. Request a showing. Like what you see, request a showing. If you see any designs that you would be, if you see any designs listed below that you would like to take a closer look at, please feel free to request a virtual showing. The showing will include a preview link to the sites you're interested in, as well as how you can purchase the site or have one of our designers customize it for you, or receive. I'm trying to think of how I would word this. It's so helpful when I have my other sites in front of me. The showing will include a preview link to the sites you're interested in, as well as how to purchase the template. Okay, so how to purchase the template or setup, and or the information on how to hire a designer to customize the site for you. Pre-styled sites available in 2 weeks or less, plus completely custom websites. All right, so there's just a really brief off the top of my head without looking at any of my other stuff. There's a brief. Now, what I would also do is include the link to, I would include a button, and this button here would be to request a showing. All right. Now, on that page, what this would take them to is it would honestly just take them to almost a copycat version of the quote page. And the main goal of this, again, is to simply just be able to get someone to go through the initial phases of contacting you, reaching out for more information, and getting them into the client upgrade process, which is taking them from lead or random internet stranger into which is a prospect. Okay, so getting them from prospect to potential client, meaning a potential client is in the beginning phases. They're getting qualified. You're figuring out their needs, desires, if this is something they're interested in. And if so, you send out a proposal, which you're gonna learn how to do. And in the proposal, when and if they sign up, and if you're able to close them as a client, they will move from a prospect and potential client into a paying client. Okay, and so we're gonna go through that process as well. So that is how to set up the gallery of pre-styled sites on your website. Now, in order to grab the link to be able to send to a prospective client, remember that you will have to have this gallery linked to a page where they request a showing. And you know what? Let me show you first how to grab the link. So remember, if you go to SEO and Google, because remember, this is a hidden page on your website. So this isn't something like, how do you find those URLs? If you click here, go to URL, this is a direct link to the page. So even though the page is hidden from your menu, you will still be able, if you have this URL, you'll still be able to copy this and send it to the potential client who's interested in seeing more of your gallery. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Now, the next thing that you want to make sure you have done is, first of all, I can see now that this was interfering. It was too close to the gallery. So I'm going to adjust that. It's always important that you preview your work, which I should do more of, because sometimes my willingness to just launch things just leads to typos and errors, and people are like, hey, this doesn't work. And I'm like, oops, I'm too busy getting paid to pay attention to if it's properly working or not. Which just goes to show you, it does not have to be perfect. I'm like the perfect example of that. Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to practice by going in. You can customize the button if you want a shadow on it. Personally, I think When the button has a shadow like that, it kind of stands out a little bit more. And again, remember, this doesn't have to be pretty. Like, the prettiest things aren't necessarily the most profitable. In fact, what I found is that sometimes the more visual, like the front page of your website that's where you can get really fancy with your designs, and it's visually attracting and appealing, and you can show your skills off. But the more design, the higher the design, the higher the distraction level, is what I've found out through the years. I used to think that I had to have the highest, best designs on every page. And I couldn't figure out why, when I took the designs off, when I just left it as a very simple page, just like this, why the conversion rates went up. I was like, what the heck? My other site was designed so much better, like world-class website design. And my little simple rinky-dink page here is making more money. And what I found was, I think, and I'm pretty sure this is what the case was that the designs are almost overwhelming, and it takes away from the purpose of the page. And if the purpose is profits and walking the client through the upgrade process, you want it to be as simple as possible, which is why I've adopted this minimal design theory and method and for profits. And honestly, it's why I think that it's working. So I will just let you know that. I know it's going to be tempting to add in lots of fancy features. You do you, man. You do you. I'm just telling you where I've been and what's currently working. And if you want to make money, then why mess with a good thing? So, okay. So and as you can see now, when the text is centered like this, do you see how the text itself kind of makes an arrow down to the request a showing? These are like visual tactics, okay? Because your eyes now are naturally drawn to the button, okay? These are naturally drawn to the button. That's a strategic site design, all right? So now what I want to do, what is that? Oh, okay. Now what I want to do is go in and I'm going to add another client application. And I'm going to go ahead and just do a new page. Okay, so I'm going to do add a page. So I want to show you how this would look. So request a showing. Okay, so in order to catch fish, you must cast many nets. Now, I'm fully aware that we are not fishing, but it's amazing to me how much the fishing analogy relates to business. Okay, so in order to catch a fish, you must cast many nets. You must use the right bait. Now, maybe this page on your website wouldn't be the page to hook a client, but maybe if you showed another client your gallery and they requested a showing, they will fill out the contact form. You never know which one's going to work. So I'm going to go ahead and hide this from the main menu, because this is just another step in the funnel, and it's actually a step underneath of the gallery. So in order to keep my brain organized, I'm going to go ahead and make this a sub menu or a sub option of the gallery. Okay, so on the request a showing page, all I'm going to add in is I'm going to add in an image. So I'm going to go to image uploads. You could add in a gallery. You could add in whatever. I'm going to do this. All right. And I'm going to add that there. And I'm going to put a very simple text on here. Now remember, anytime you have a new page, you want to connect the action from the previous page and have that be one of the first things that they see on the new page, which is why it's very, very important that you include the text that is the same exact action or reason they clicked on the last button. What I mean is, on the last page, it said request a virtual showing. Okay, now that means I want the text on the top of this page to match the action that they took on the previous page. If it doesn't match, if the page doesn't look like what they were just looking for, it will not convert as well, and they won't put their information in because it's not connected. That is why I know it's a little extra work to have these two separate pages, but it's why when someone clicks on that request a showing button in the gallery, you don't want to send them to the client application. Why? Because they're like, oh, client application, even though it could be the same exact information, you're collecting the same information, it's just positioned in a different way. So that's why I don't lead them to the client application page, because I don't want them to get confused and think that it's the wrong page. So this is why you could make a copy of the page. What I'm going to do is I'm showing you how to actually set this up. So now I'm going to go back here to the contact. I'm going to move my face and scroll down here to the contact tab. And I'm going to add this in here. I like the enclosed box on this page just because the rest of the page is so open. You know what I mean? I feel like the box really kind of brings it in there and matches the design up here. That's just my personal preference. So, all right, so now I'm telling them exactly what to do. Okay, so I'm gonna say form settings. I want to make sure that inside of the settings, in the email notification, make sure it's going to your business Gmail. And then I always add my personal email as a secondary just to make sure that I'm not missing any. Okay. Now, as far as this form goes, manage the fields. I'm going to say they don't need a phone number, so I'm going to delete that. Add a new field. The field that I want to add is text. Okay. I'm going to do a paragraph field. All right. So edit fields. Please let us know which site, and then I'm going to put in parentheses, you are interested in viewing. Please, our team will put together a virtual showing that you can I'm going to expect this within, let's say, 72 hours. Now, if you put that down, you have to make sure that you're on top of it, okay? So this field is required. What's the name of this message? So, nope, we're not going to link it. I'm going to manage fields. I'm going to delete this. Okay, and then I can click and drag this button up a little bit. Now, when you are finished with a form or a field or whatever, like virtual showing, request a virtual showing, this is actually another form. This would, when they filled this out, this moves them into the phase of a potential client, where then you have the opportunity to not only find their needs, goals, and desires, but to actually see if they're interested in receiving a proposal for a website design. So once they fill out this form, that would take them to that. Now, another thing that you can do when adding in a form on a site is you can connect them to more information if you want. So I'll show you how to do that in another one. If I just want this to be up and done with as fast as possible, so when you click here and you click settings, you can see what it will submit after it's done. So, okay, when a visitor submits a form, what does it say? Show a success message. You could link to another page on the website. You could link to an external URL. If you link to a page on the website, you could link them to you could link them to like something else on the site. I don't know, like client book online step 2. Let's just send them to that page once they're done. Okay. Because then if they requested that virtual showing, they would be able to download your price and service guide, book a complimentary consultation, and they would be walking themselves through your client upgrade process. That's the beauty of having these systems and pages and steps in place, which, yes, they take a little bit longer to implement initially. But when you can detach yourself and the results from having to be personally involved at every step of the way, you can kind of sit back and put this process on autopilot, and some of these clients and or leads will qualify themselves for you, which I hope that makes sense. Another option that you could do in the future is, and this is something that I'm working on right now, is actually going in and recording a walkthrough of the template to each one of these sites. Now, yes, that would take a little bit longer, which is why I have not done it yet. But what you could do is you could, on this virtual showing page, request a virtual showing. They could like select an option, if, for example, if they had to fill out an email address to access that page, request a virtual showing, then this is my idea and what I'm working on. When they click submit on this form on the next page, then what they're able to do is just click on one of these buttons and it will show me going through like a 2 to 4 minute video of walking through each template, which is kind of cool. Now, so there's that. That's what is currently being worked on, and I will have to show you that when it's done. That's an option in the future, but again, you don't have to have that done right now in order to make money. I just want you to know what's possible, the different ways that you can get fancy with it after you've got cash in your pocket, after you've put in the foundation and the framework. So there you have it. That is how I would showcase to a potential client some pre-styled sites to establish your professionalism even as a brand new total newbie and website designer. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this. I hope it was helpful. And if you have any questions, please remember to fill out or go to the student support group. And again, as of right now, the filming of this video, I do have a couple of openings inside of the VIP. So if you're someone who is like, yes, I'm all in, I just need there's just questions that I want answered before the weekly Q&A. I do have a couple spots open. Nicole, who is upgraded to VIP Messenger, and she is on her way to 10K in 90 days. You can get access to me via upgraded VIP support. As long as the button is here on this page, I have openings. If the button's gone, I don't have any openings. I wish I could leave this, like I said, I wish I could leave this open to as many as possible, but I'm only one person. I have a lot of clients. I have my own one-on-one clients, a husband, and 4 kids, and my sanity to maintain. So if the button's here, it's open. If it's not, try again next month. That's all I can say if you're looking for extra support. So thanks for watching. I'm super proud of each and every one of you. I'm so proud of you for investing in your skills. I know this might seem like a lot. I know you're learning a new skill. I know it can be overwhelming, but I promise you, just stick with it. Keep plugging away. Keep being intentional at investing in your skills and your abilities and your education, and you have the power to change your financial future. So thanks so much for watching. I am so thankful for each and every one of you in this course. And I just pray massive blessings and increase over each and every one of you. So thank you, and I'll see you later.